Okay, welcome to a new episode of Nate's MMA Corner. I'm Nate, and if you watch my show, you're in my corner. Today's episode is a pre-fight for UFC 216, and yeah, this is hold on. Okay, so yeah, this is a pre-fight for UFC 216 main card with predictions, and let's get started. I'll make this a quick episode. I'm excited about this one. In the main event, we have UFC interim lightweight championship of the world up for grabs. Tony El Kukui Ferguson going up against Kevin Motown Lee, and this fight, two top 10 lightweights are going to duke it out for the interim belt and the chance at possibly facing the notorious Conor McGregor. And I'm picking Tony Ferguson, third round knockout here. I think he does his thing, gets it done, and he stuffs a takedown attempts at Kevin Lee and knocks out Kevin Lee Kevin Lee in the third round. I think Kevin Lee is going to be a champion at some point, but just not right now. I totally agree with what Kenny Florian said on UFC Tonight about that. Then in the co-main event, we have the flyweight championship of the world, the UFC flyweight championship of the world up for grabs. Demetrius Johnson defending the belt for the 11th consecutive time against Ray Borg. I'm picking Demetrius Johnson, third round submission on this one. I think there's some exchanges back and forth, but I think Ray Borg gets worn out and Johnson's cardio is pretty darn good. And then he initiates takedowns on Ray Borg and gets him and then goes for a submission. And I think Johnson's submission skills are just top notch and he'll get it done. Then in the heavyweight division, we have Fabricio Werdum versus Derek Lewis, and yeah, I'm going with Werdum second round submission. I like both these guys, but I just think that obviously Werdum has a way better jiu-jitsu, and he's going to look to utilize that. And in the second and third rounds, Derek Lewis starts to fade. So if Werdum doesn't get in the second round, then definitely in the third round. But this will be an exciting fight, and I think Werdum's motivated to win this fight and get a title shot. Derek Lewis, his motivation is in question after his last fight with Mark Hunt, but who knows? I mean, he has an on and off switch. That's not a bad thing. That's no disrespect to him because he's one of my favorite fighters. But Derek Lewis is just a little unpredictable. Werdum, he goes for it and he lives and dies by that idea in his head of, I'm going to go for the win and I'll either get finished or lose a decision, but I'm going to go for it. But the majority of the time he wins. I mean, obviously he's won UFC gold. Then we have a women's flyweight clash with Mara Romero Borrelia versus Kalindra Feria. And I'm going with Feria by decision. I think she just outclasses and outpoints Mara all three rounds and gets a 30-27 unanimous decision victory. Then in the lightweight division to kick off the main card, we have Beneil Dariush versus Evan Dunham. And I am going to pick Dariush KO round 2 in this fight. I think Dariush has heavy hands and his striking is very underrated. And Dariush is a guy that is hungry for a big win in a game opponent like Evan Dunham, and this is going to be a great fight. I'm thinking it's going to be one of the best lightweight fights in a while, for sure, outside of the main event for this. And yeah, that wraps up my pre-fight show for UFC 216. Stay tuned in the coming days for my post-fight show, see if I was right, see if I was wrong. So until then, I will see ya.